Hi there, salut à tout le monde, ciao a tutti, sziasztok. Welcome to this video about artists supporting artists. I think this video is actually a continuation of what I meant to say when I made that video about rejections. But at the time, I was still so vulnerable and raw from the pain of being rejected because, quite frankly, I have invested a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of love into writing all those grant applications, writing residency applications, as well as, of course, submissions to magazines. But I wanted to talk about the potential growth that can come from a setback like that, which felt like a big setback for me, and it really did put me in a state of fear because, yeah, as a single mom, financial kind of anxiety is a real thing in my life. And so, yes, it forced me to rethink my approach. And although it is very tempting to take these rejections personally and think that perhaps you're on the wrong path, luckily that didn't last long for me because I have a very different reactions from people who actually read my work. And also, I don't know if I'm lucky or unlucky in that I'm very clear about what it is that I'm meant to do, and I'm very committed to my craft. So I was beginning to think about how else I could approach this. And I remember that everything I have really achieved in my creative life, I have achieved through thinking outside the box and not really following the conventional path. So, this little research and soul searching led me to discover Patreon, and I slowly began to set up a page, and I was almost ready to launch when I met up with my lovely friend Ines, who is incidentally a super talented writer and creative herself, incidentally with 4 children and a super busy husband. And we met up for coffee, and I told her about this idea, and she had a wonderful pitch for me, which was to, rather than posting random writings and inspirations, how about I do a chapter installment from the book that I have actually completed and I am now nervously sending out into the world to agents and publishers, etc. And this coffee appointment was so inspiring that I went home as if I had drank 20 cups of coffee. And I got to work and I set it up. And the next day I launched it, but not quite officially. And within the first, I think, 5 minutes of just setting up the page, I got this little notification that congratulations, you have your first patron. And that was my friend Ines sending me a message, you've got your first patron, go girl go, which was so touching. And that is an artist writer friend supporting me and giving me the encouragement. But it reminded me how I want to do the same thing, and I'm committed to helping other artists because in any way that I can. Because the one thing that I really resent about this idea of applying for grants and writing residencies, etc., is that it puts us artists in competition with each other. And we're working in our own bubbles, creating our art, and we're very committed. It usually comes from a very deep need to tell a story or to create a work of art. And when you're doing it in your own little bubble without the support of anyone, it can be incredibly hard to stay on track. So I suppose this is my pitch of wanting to create an artist hub. So if you're interested in joining my artist hub and maybe having regular meetings, whether personally or by Zoom, and just encouraging each other in any way that we can, so that we don't find ourselves doubting constantly, but just helping with that sort of 1% of more courage rather than fear that Elizabeth Gilbert was talking about. So, yes, if you're interested, leave me a comment and let's set it up. And in the meanwhile, I truly wish you a really great day, a creative day, of many inspirations and many good things to come. Take care.